Hello, everybody. My name is Kate Wexell, and welcome back to my channel. So I might have just a little bit of a plot twist. I mentioned in a couple of previous videos that I was attempting to transfer universities.
Okay, so it's currently April 14th. This is my first decision reaction. Evidently, well, I just got home from driving home from my university for an event this weekend, and evidently while I was driving home, the update for Minerva came out. So honestly, I'm not going to have any expectations. I'm going to take it as this is the universe telling me, is this the right decision or is it not? And I know they're the most selective university apparently in the entire world. And I'm not going to pretend that I know what goes on behind it or that I'm the right fit for them. Many paths are well traveled, but some are different. Some paths will define your future. This is one such path that probably will not be followed. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm not usually that kind of person to be like, but holy shit. Jesus Christ, I just got into the most selective university in the entire world. Oh my goodness.
And so I actually got my first decision almost a week ago, last Friday, to Minerva University. And even though I've not received any other decisions yet, and I probably won't until their deadline to submit my deposit has already passed, I think that I might actually end up going. Anyway, I wanted to talk about what helped me get into Minerva, because Minerva is just this very unique university that I kind of heard about at the last minute. I was sort of surprised that I got in, but at the same time, not super surprised. Minerva is known to have the lowest acceptance rate in the entire United States. It is even more selective than Harvard, but not in the same kind of way. So all of us who were accepted were about 200 students out of what in the past has been about 25,000 applicants each year. Sort of the entire way that the Minerva admissions process works is it is not you competing against other applicants. There are no legacy admissions. There is absolutely nothing like that. It is just, do you meet a certain standard? So technically, out of the 25,000 applicants, all 25,000 could have gotten in if they had all fulfilled the correct criteria. And similarly, they don't take any standardized test scores. They also don't have any essay. So instead, what you have to go through is you have to submit your grades, submit your transcripts, talk about your school, your background, all of that kind of stuff. So they are looking for that high level of academic excellence, and they do still ask for your GPA, your class rank, things like that. However, then they have you go through a series of challenges and then submit your achievements. I'm going to sort of go through what some of these challenges are, and I've done us the service of creating a new application account on here so that I can just show you guys what this looks like. Basically, you have to go through their first challenge, which is the understanding challenge, before you are able to unlock all of the other challenges. So basically what they are is the understanding challenge gives you about 7 minutes to complete a very brief reading section. So it's meant to test your English. And then the article that I had to read was solely about Minerva and about their curriculum. And it was also about the different countries that you would be traveling to as a part of this program. So then after that, you're able to go to whichever one you want. So the creativity challenge, what I had to do was in 8 minutes, I was told to come up with as many different uses for a glove as possible. So you can think of anything that you want. I even said a sock puppet. I said all sorts of random things, but I think that in the end, I had almost 30 different responses to that I was able to come up with. Then you go to the math section. It's structured almost identically to what you would see on the ACT or SAT. And so is the understanding section. That was structured identical to the reading sections on the SAT or the ACT. With reasoning, this is literally an IQ test. And by the way, they do let you take practice tests before you actually begin the challenges. So with an IQ test, you can't really gauge how well you did or not. I think that I did okay, but towards the end, identifying different patterns does become pretty challenging. It does increase in difficulty. Same thing with the math. I feel like everybody that I've heard of did not do well on the math section. I personally didn't finish it. I don't even think that I got half of them done. And yeah, math has never been my strong suit though. But then you have the writing and the expression sections, and I think that these are probably the most important when they're actually trying to decide who gets in and who doesn't. So the writing section is not some big essay about Minerva. You have 20 minutes. I think I used about 12. And so they just ask you, well, they asked me about how to handle a roommate situation. So they're trying to see what is your emotional intelligence, how would you handle conflict, and how would you handle it in a logical scenario that you might actually encounter while you're living at college. So they're trying to ensure that you're prepared for the college life. And yeah, that one was really straightforward to me. You just write a couple of paragraphs. It doesn't have to be super long. It doesn't have to include any of your own personal experiences. They specifically say to just be hypothetical. And then you have the expression section. So I thought that this was very unique. I thought that this was what was going to get me thrown out because this is a video interview. Once again, to test your emotional intelligence, but also to test your critical thinking based on some of the questions. I think I had somewhere between 4 and 6 questions. I had to use a similar platform on several other things. So there was a scholarship at my current university that used this. And then also, if you are applying to Yale for transfer, then they also have like a standout video essay platform that is identical. So what happens is you listen to a little recording, give you a prompt, you have 20 seconds to think, and then you have about 2 minutes to respond to the question. So out of the questions that I remember, I think one was about why do I want to go to Minerva? The very first one I remember was about me trying to tell them how many different interpretations I come up with for this little riddle that they gave. And so that was interesting. I didn't quite know what to think of it, but given that it started off with that, I was like, oh, all right, we're taking this seriously. And then one of them, I don't remember exactly how they phrased it, but it was sort of a question about what was the worst thing that had happened in my life and what were the different interpretations of that, who was responsible, how did I handle it, who was to blame, how could blame be looked at in different contexts. I did genuinely try to speak from the heart, and that's how I took it. Was I was doing this at 10:30 at night. I was very tired, and I just said, all right, I'm going to be completely brutally honest, and they can take me for who I am, and if they don't like that, then they can move on. After that, you have to submit your achievements. So I just put in random things here for this fake application. So I don't remember exactly what all 6 of my accomplishments were. However, I believe that I put down the nonprofit that I run, that I am a U.S. Department of State fellow in a fellowship program. I put down that I was a Girl Scout Gold Award and Boy Scout Eagle Scout recipient because that was something that was important to me. And then I also believe that I put down information about my musical achievements. And towards the bottom, I don't even quite know what I put down. I think that I might have written about my current internship and then also my job right now with the American Conservation Coalition. But I just decided to write down what is actually important to me, what has inspired me the most. And those also happen to be the biggest things that I have done or the things that I've put the most time and effort into as well, besides maybe the Department of State fellowship. Within the achievements, though, what I was able to do was here, you can write down a pretty detailed paragraph about what you've done when you did it, but then they also ask you to quantify that, which I think is really interesting because that's a strategy that's taught to people during the regular admissions process through the Common App, but then most people don't actually do it. And then they do force you to have evidence. You list a reference, you add links, you upload files, and I did hear from some other people that they were genuinely checking that and reaching out to people if they still had more questions. decide to commit to Minerva, then I will be sharing a lot more details about what the university is like. This university was only created about 10 years ago. I think it might be a little bit older than 10 years now. However, there have been a lot of discussions about it on the internet with people trying to say that it's a scam. Now, of course, there have been multiple different graduated classes of students from Minerva, so people have started to die down with the harsh comments about it. However, I would absolutely love to, in the future, be able to provide more evidence as to whether or not this is genuinely a university that could rival some elite schools in the country. And I hope that my year here at a very, very traditional state university would be able to help inform that discussion, as opposed to other Minerva students where this might be their first time ever at university and they don't even have anything to compare it to. But anyway, this is sort of how I got in, and I hope that walking you through what the challenges are and the prompts that I was given might help people in the future who are interested in applying. I did get great financial aid, and I would be able to travel to 7 different countries if I do choose to submit my deposit. However, my only things that I would be concerned about are, first of all, it does not have that name brand recognition yet. It was designed to rival the Ivy Leagues, and it was created by a graduate of UPenn and the Wharton Business School. However, that does not mean that employers know what it is yet. It is accredited. You can get into master's programs. There's no problems there. And then alumni have been able to get into top companies so far. However, it's not going to be helping me out with that name of, oh, this is Harvard, this is Yale, this is Stanford, or anything like that. Also, I would have to give up all of my credits that I have earned at my current university, which by the end of this school year, whenever that ends in a little bit less than 3 weeks now, I would have 70 credits that I would be completely giving up. However, other than that, I don't really have too many concerns. So I hope that this was informative. If you like this, then please hit that thumbs up button and please subscribe to my channel. I hope to be sharing a lot more content soon now that it's summertime almost. And yeah, have a great, fantastic day.